I made it as a joke earlier. But now I'm kind of serious. I could use some water. This is the part where some folks may be fast from listening. So I'm going to channel my yoga teacher days and invite you to stretch first. So where you are, if you have some space, maybe you take a seated twist. So you want to twist from the spine and keep your shoulders down. Be gentle on your body. Do both sides, kind of even it out. Maybe if you have some space for your arms, you stretch them out to the side, up above, or out in front. Give the wrists some stretching. You're holding a lot of books. And then even nicer, maybe you fold forward from the hips. Careful with your neck. Give the lower back a stretch. Okay, now we feel a little better. We can keep going. When I think about my time at TBZ, I think about crying. In the short bio I wrote to become a member of the board, I wrote about crying at every bar mitzvah. When my husband Yarden and I were asked to give the Devar on Leviticus during Minha service in 2019, we shared with the community the source of our tears and their connection to Hannah and both our mothers, because we too are familiar with the feeling of yearning for a child. So of course this year, as Judith Cates so brilliantly spoke about Sarah's hope, and as we heard Hannah's prayer, I braced myself for yet more tears, but I didn't cry. No, it's not because being VP of development dried my tears right up. It's because this year is different. For the last 6 years, I have sat in deep longing, the kind where pain and joy, disbelief and hope grow intertwined. For the child Yarden and I have been working, saving, waiting, and preparing for. But this year, we are finally expecting our first. And so instead, my tears came when we danced, and when we sang, and when the quiet of this space felt pregnant with hopes, joys, pains, and sorrows of our entire community. I cried because I could imagine our son embraced by this beautiful community as I have never been able to before. This is one of the many ways TBZ sustains me. That is why I work to help sustain it. I feel that's true of all of us. In my role on the board and as VP of development, I have seen firsthand our community's commitment to TBZ and to each other. I have seen our lay leaders work passionately to steward TBZ forward. I have seen countless members volunteer to deliver meals, to fill Kiddush cups, and to welcome strangers. I have also seen our beloved community grow to almost 500 households. And like a growing family, there is so much beauty and potential in this vibrant community. And there are also challenges. The challenges of ensuring that all members, new and seasoned, feel the same sense of connection and have an array of entry points into our community. The challenge of ensuring that our beautiful historic building gets the repair and maintenance that it so desperately needs. The challenge of developing engaging, high-quality education for our children, our teens, and lifelong learners. The challenge of ensuring that our staff has the support and capacity to do their jobs without the oil running out of their lamps. In the last 8 months, TBZ's Development Committee has come together to intentionally and methodically create a plan to meet all these challenges. The development plan is informed by our strategic planning, a 20-year building needs assessment led by our incredibly dedicated building team committee, and the voices of so many dedicated TBZers. The development plan is based first and foremost on our shared desire to sustain all that we love about TBZ. To do so, we have committed to educating everyone in our community about our shul's financial needs and goals, creating a network of champions and stewards within our community who can help strengthen relationships that help each of us feel supported in our individual giving and maintaining straightforward, open communication when we talk about money. So I'm here to do just that and straightforwardly tell you that TBZ needs you. We need you to give according to your individual capacity in order to sustain and maintain our community. The development plan isn't just about one-time fixes. It's about increasing our annual giving for the sake of sustainability. We need to increase our annual giving because otherwise, we will not be able to continue to serve our community at the level we do now. Your financial gifts to TBZ represent over 30% of our annual income. These funds help to operationalize our strategic goals for deepening, fostering, and investing in music and prayer, social justice, activism and service, inclusion, leadership, and our youth. They will be used to reinforce our professional staff to help maintain the quality of their work and their work life. And they will help to pay for urgent repairs and long-term maintenance of our physical spaces. Our goal is to bring our community's yearly giving up to $650,000 with annual pledges, multi-year commitments, and in the words of my friend Larry, for those of us who can, to stretch our gifts in order to meet our needs. So I'm asking you to think about what you can give, and if you can, to stretch. I recently learned something about having a community to lean on in time of need. Wednesday morning, during one of my classes at the Boston Arts Academy, there was a message over the school intercom. Can Mr. Mendoza come to the main office? Being a high school that received quite a few, ooh, you're in trouble, from the students. But they were right. Our gestational carrier was in the hospital. She was admitted for monitoring 9 weeks ahead of our due date. I'm grateful that everyone is stable right now, Baruch Hashem. But as Yarden and I made our way to the hospital in Worcester in a panic, the short list went through my head. Call our mothers, because we are still good Jewish boys. And call the rabbi. Like many of us here, calling the rabbi in times of joy and in times of need is second nature. That we call on our rabbis, like Rav Claudia, Rav Tiferet, and Rav Moshe, is a privilege, which is exactly why I'm here talking to you today about money on Yom Kippur. We, each of us, is responsible beyond dues to do our part in supporting the work of our rabbis, educators, and professional staff, fortifying our building for generations to come, and sustaining this community, which so richly sustains us. If you have already affirmed an annual commitment or made your high holiday gift, thank you. If you are contributing tonight, thank you. Please indicate your pledge using the tabs on the cards on your seat. And you can put them in these envelopes that were also your ticket to the high holidays so that we know who you are. Now don't worry, tomorrow you can still get in without your envelope, and you can even sneak in a few friends if you maybe need to. And we'll have baskets coming around to collect this. And if you don't have your card and you would still like to make a gift, there will be an email going out later this week with links to Shul Cloud where you can do so. Thank you for helping to sustain TBZ. So to quote yet another wise role model in our community, Ian Falk, that's all I got. Thank you, and Gamar Tov.
Martov.